right? The deed
Okay.
is who owns it. The mortgage is how it's owned, right? So in
Okay.
both seller finance and sub two, your name goes on the deed. So you own the property. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yep.
Now, with seller finance, that means there's no mortgage in place or a very small mortgage in place, right? So they're
Okay.
just financing you their equity. Real short example. If I were to sell you my cell phone and I want $1,000 for it, and you come to me and you're like, "Hey man, I'll give you $100 a month until it's paid off," and I say, "Sure." I am now seller financing my cell phone to you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Because I own it, I'm the seller, and I'm accepting payments from you. So I'm seller financing whatever it is. That's the same thing with the property. They have a
Okay.
house for 300 grand. They own free and clear. They're just accepting payments from you. They're becoming the bank.
Okay.
Now,
And the difference in sub two would be, well, I still owe AT&T some money for this phone, but I want you to take over my phone payment, kind of,
absolutely,
or
absolutely,
okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
my phone is still locked. I have AT&T. I'm locked into a plan for 2 years, but I don't want this phone in this plan anymore. I will sub to it to you, allow you to just make the payments on my behalf. The phone still has my name on it. The mortgage payment still has my name on it, but you're just responsible for making the payments.
Okay, and so is that would be the incentive for the buyer is that we would make the payments and what give them like a some type of down payment or
Yeah,
like what would be
something.
their financial incentive?
Yeah, so something to walk away with. I mean, the properties that I go after for sub two have very small equity, or they're in foreclosure, right?
Okay,
So let's
that's
just
exactly
go ahead.
that's kind of what's going on right here. So they're real low equity. They bought the house in 2020 and they were looking to put some work into it. It was a wholesale deal, and the
Yeah.
contractors went bad on them. So
Okay.
they ended up like taking it down to the walls and it's into the studs, but they still need to put in plumbing and electric
Okay.
and stuff like that. And so they bought it for 688,
Yeah.
and they have a 3% interest rate on the home, but they weren't able to process it.
How did they finance it? If it was a flip, did they just do a traditional mortgage, or was it a
I
hard
believe
money,
so.
or what? Okay. If it's a traditional mortgage, yeah, you can definitely take that over. All
Okay.
right. Now the financial incentive is if you were to sell it on the market after you pay your loan, how much do you walk away with it? If they would have to cut a check, then say, hey, I'll give you a couple grand just to keep you from cutting a check, right? So
Uh,
that's the financial gain. I'd rather take
okay.
2,000 than lose five, right?
Makes sense.
Now with foreclosure situations, they have no money and it's about to foreclose, right? So would you rather take 2 grand or 0 grand and your credit score is hammered,
Yeah,
right? So
no doubt.
that's the financial gain, but that's the difference. In your email that you sent, you said subject to offer. I am open to a longer time frame with what $100,000 down and 70 over time. That
Yeah.
won't work because there's a mortgage in place, right?
Yes.
So unless they wrapped it and sold it to you, but that's a whole different thing, man. That's going down a path that we don't need to go down right now.
Okay.
So you need to reword yours. If it's sub two, you need to understand what terms are there, right? If they have a mortgage right now for let's say just 700,000, and they have it listed for 750, find out what's the difference between how much they owe versus how much they're trying to sell it for. And then also
Okay.
they have an agent involved, so the agent needs to get paid. They pay the agent, so find out how much they would pay to everybody and how much they get to walk away with. If they get to
Okay.
walk away with a low amount, then just offer them that low amount and say, "I'll pay the agent and I'll handle everything."
Okay. Makes sense. As opposed to them listing it on the market, because I think they even took it off the market. It was listed a couple months ago, but
Yeah,
it's no longer listed.
yeah. Well, I mean, they said that the agent is still representing them, right?
I haven't even talked to the owner. I've only speak to the agent.
What the agent say?
And right, that they were still interested in the property, that they ran out of money for the investment, and so they've been sitting on it for the past like 3 years, just
Three
making the mortgage
years?
payment for 3 years. It's looked like this, and so they've just been paying the mortgage. I guess because it's been so the interest rate was so low, but it's getting to a point now where they're running out of funds. And so when I got in contact with them, they had just taken it off the market, and it looked like they didn't have a buyer. Like when he was telling me about their negotiations,
Yeah.
he said that he had someone else interested, but you know, you can kind of tell when somebody's not serious. And so when he showed up to the walkthrough, he was at his best, and it seems as if like we were the only real buyer that he had.
Yeah, well, tell them like, look, I mean, how much do you owe, right? Find out how much they owe. Find out if you guys sell it for list, then how much will you guys walk away with? And if that's a super low price, then it might be worthwhile to do a subject to.
Okay,
right? Just so they're not.
With,
just so they're not. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, we were talking over each other. My bad.
So you're saying take over give them whatever they would have got listing it, and then take over their payments, so that they don't have to go through all the trouble of listing it on the market.
If it makes sense, right? If they have $100,000 of equity, then that doesn't make sense to put $100,000 down. Because I'm assuming you're trying to wholesale this, right?
Yes.
So you want the amount to be as low as possible, so you can get a buyer in there. No buyer wants to put $100,000 down on the Subto. That just doesn't make sense. All right. So let's do this. Formulate this email before you send it over to me. I'll take a look at it, and then we can have another conversation like this. Again, I don't know the numbers. I don't know anything about the deal. So even if you wanted to include in there just some information about it, I can help you kind of formulate an email to them.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I have the plans for the home that were approved by the city, and like some comps from in the area, and pictures from the walkthrough.
Yeah, I don't want any of that.
All right, cool. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, if we get to a point where you need help wholesaling it, then I need all that. But right now, just formulating the email, I don't need any of that. I just need how much it's listed for. You can really give me the address, or you did give me the Zillow link just so I can click on it.
Okay.
Give me. I'll find out what it's. You said it's not listed, right? So is there any price on there?
No, it's not listed right now. But there's a estimated like redfin price of like $740 or something like that.
Put it together, man. Find out how much they want, and then let me do this real quick, because I might be able to see.
I know they want $800 for it.
They want $800.
They bought it for $688, and they're claiming that they put $100,000 into it. But when we went through the walkthrough, it was still in need of a lot of work. Yeah, it still needs a foundation, as well as walls and electrical, plumbing, and mechanical.
It's in Emeryville.
Yeah, it's in Oakland, but it'll say Emeryville.
So right now, right now on PropStream, it says that this is upside down, and that there's 3 liens on it. Okay. Let's see what kind of mortgage they pulled out. So this looks like prime lending at 3%, a new conventional loan, which would be good. But then right now it says they're upside down. It seems like they took a loan amount of $980,000.
Oh damn!
So that's what it says on here. Now these aren't always 100% accurate, but find out the terms from them. Okay. Find out how much is owed and everything. And how much they want $800,000 for it?
Yeah. So
they probably owe a little bit less, because right now this estimated balance on PropStream has $900,000.
That's their remaining balance on the loan?
Yeah, and there's no way that they're $100,000.
No.
And this also says that this is a duplex. Was it a duplex at one point?
Yeah, it is a duplex right now.
It's a duplex now?
They're going to convert it into a triplex. That's what the plans are approved for.
Okay. Yeah, find out the numbers and let's talk, my man.
Okay, so I got you. So find out how much is owed on the property and how much they would have been willing to walk away with if they would have listed it.
Absolutely.
And then what their current payment is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. I appreciate you so much.
No problem. Also, too, you can ask for a copy of that mortgage statement. That is something you're probably going to need if it ends up going Subto. So go ahead and ask for a copy of the mortgage statement as well.
Okay, will do.
All right. We'll talk soon, my man.
Have a good one.
All right, no problem, bro.